Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to game number 2 in this best of 3. It's Invictus Gaming versus Vici Gaming. I'm your host, LD, of Beyond the Summit, the people providing you the coverage for I-League's LAN Finals. $277,000 at stake. And right now, we're in the thick of our second semifinal. The winner of this match, IG versus Vici, will play the winner of the first match. That was already decided earlier today. It is the Tangfu Old Boys, 820... Xiao 8, and a bunch of other legendary players along DD, and the last one I keep on forgetting for some reason. But yeah, it's an old school squad, and well, they'll be waiting for whoever wins this best of 3. Right now, Vici Gaming lead the series 1-0. IG went for Tinker. It did not work. We'll see if they do it again. And with that said, of course, I'm not here alone. I am joined by Blaze. Blaze, we're going to see the Wisp come through. No draw Visage, which you just asked me, we were just chatting about right before as the draft began, and it seems they won't go for that. They tried to get the Wisp, and, well, they won't get the Tiny along with it. Oh, actually, you're muted. Oh,
what he can be paired with. It's a very common trap for teams to fall into where they see the Wisp and without a partner just yet, and they use the entire banning phase, just taking out heroes that are paired with it, the CK, the Tiny, that sort of thing. But honestly, there are so many heroes that can be paired with the Wisp very effectively that you should probably just take out one as they have and then go for some good all-around bans from that point forward. Don't put too much into trying to negate one aspect of VT's lineup. But yeah, there's still a lot of potential for the dual mid here. We'll see if they want to go for like a Gyrocopter, which got some nice buffs, or something more like the Chaos Knight, which we've seen in the past, and whose Phantasm is that much more powerful, though perhaps not against Lich. But yeah, in this position, Vici have a pretty full board here as far as what they can pick up. Banning out the 2 late game carries in the Morph and the Spectre leads IG to try to get the late game advantage with the Void.
Yeah, it gives them a hero that has been nerfed pretty significantly in this patch. One of them, I guess it doesn't sound like a big deal, but I believe it turned a fight in a game I cast yesterday. The Flying Visionary around the Chronosphere is 425, which is the same as the Area of Effect 425, but there's a hero that was caught, like, not even in the Chrono, it was like the foot was kind of trapped, and I'm not actually sure if the player who was playing Void actually saw him. Also, Chronosphere no longer disables passives, which is probably the biggest change to Void. And there was the way that Chronosphere worked was like an aura originally in Dota 1, where, you know, after you walk out of range of the aura holder, it persists for a half second, but that was also removed, so Chronosphere lasts a half second less. That said, Void is still pretty strong, and I have seen this hero be very effective on this patch. We saw Snog come close to beating EG with it yesterday. I still think it's a good hero, and in this game, there's nothing really that's a strong passive that you'd want the Chronosphere to remove as of yet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and one big aspect of it is that essentially Vici Gaming are not able to offensively relocate against the Void, because if he has Chronosphere and there's Chain Frost available, you are automatically relocating to your death. You get caught in the 2-man inside the Chrono, you're linked together, perfect position for Chain Frost to just do all of its bounces within like 2 seconds time, and you're just instantly dead. So no offensive relocates from Vici Gaming. We'll still probably see some cool defensive ones, but just in general, that Lich makes it difficult to really manipulate the tether without just allowing those bounces to keep going through. So interesting pickup here with the Ember. I think they're still going to go with another core hero to go with the IO for the most part, but in his own right, Ember still brings a little bit to the table being comboed up with him.
Yeah, I mean, there's heroes like Sven, who's been buffed a bit with his Aghanim Scepter, maybe like a kind of 3-position option for him, but that would give them some offensive trialing potential if they want to go that route. Outside of that, I know, like, kind of, there's Chaos Knight as well, whose Phantasm illusion duration has been increased from 24 to 34. That, combined with a slightly cheaper Manta style, maybe makes him a more viable pick. For now, it's going to be the Elder Titan, and this is a duo that became very popular in China, I would say 6 to 7 months ago. Basically, the idea is simple. You Searing Chains 2 heroes, and then Elder Titan with a Spirit stomps them, holding them in place, and this sets up the rest of your team to go in. So that can set up for a Mystic Flare, or if you have some other AoE combo, or even the Earth Splitter can come after that. So it's a pretty cool combo. It also makes the Ember Spirit hit a lot harder. But Lich is one of the best supports to kind of counteract the Elder Titan's minus armor, I would say, Blaze. And honestly, I would say in general, we see Lich picked as a way to deal with Elder Titan, not Elder Titan picked after seeing a Lich off the board.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, obviously, Ice has played some great ET. He's had a lot of experience on the hero in multiple patches and can really control the pace of the game with him. But I'm not sure exactly how they want to use him, other than what you're talking about before with the Ember Spirit. Some good damage potential. We've seen him use it to set up arrows in the past, but I don't
There
feel
is that
Mirana.
Aghanim's disarm. I guess that would be pretty nice against Void, and if he chronos and doesn't caught you, you have that.
Mhm.
But I mean, that's also assuming you farm an Ags and Elder Titan.
Yeah. The one thing I'm worried about is the laning for the Elder Titan. He automatically pushes back the wave with his spirit if he ever uses it, and then essentially when he's trying to hide under his tower, if the ward if there isn't a ward on the pole camp and it's very well controlled by IG supports, then he's not going to be seeing the creep. So it's kind of what we saw last game a little bit. It was like a level 2, level 3 Elder Titan throughout several minutes in the early game, and it's going to be on an IG to essentially allow that creep lane to get out of control and get into his hands or not. But for now, they go with the nice little bug here. Weaver has a little bit of extra potential with the fact that his Gemini attack will proc items such as crit or Maelstrom. A lot of people are toting the lightning bug, but I kind of feel with the increased cooldown of Gemini attack and the fact that as a low BAT hero, he doesn't really scale with attack speed all that well, that the crit is going to be the go-to item for him.
Yeah, apparently my English is needing some work today. I'm getting punched around here in the chat, man. But fifth pick now come out for Vici Gaming. They don't actually have many stuns to speak of. There's Chains, which is not really a stun, and there's Stomp, which is not really a stun of note anyway. And I would like to see Vici Gaming kind of solidify their options here for head-on engagements. What do you think, Blaze? There's Centaur out there, though I guess if the Elder Titan's their offlaner, well, they could still run like the Centaur safe lane per. Oh no, sorry, Centaur's an IG. Yeah, and there's not many options at this point, to be honest.
It's really
Tidehunter, I
difficult.
guess, if they want more team fight.
Yeah, I mean that definitely has some potential, but I don't really know about the laning phase and how that would kind of pan out as far as what they're trying to accomplish with it. It's a really difficult call, honestly. Invictus Gaming's lineup is really scary at all stages of the game, and I think that's the strength of the 6.82 draft is being able to not only deliver some real pressure in the lanes in the early game, but also move forward and have that late game dominance as well. So. Vici Gaming, this ET pick really shows a lot of their intentions, but to round it out, they have to have a very clear pick. Now, I like the Sven, like you
How
were
about like
talking
a
about.
Wraith King, maybe?
Yeah, Sven or Wraith King, I think, can fill a similar vein and have a lot more potential against the Void and surviving throughout these big ultis.
Okay.
I'm
So,
actually disconnecting out of the draft, so you'll have to tell me what they pick.
they went for Sven, so
Cool.
we're on the money there, man. Even I can't speak English. I can at least suggest a good pick or two. And it will be a black Sven. Now, I guess this is where things get interesting, potentially. Does he consider the Ags on Sven just to make his
Uh,
Ember hit harder?
I
The,
mean, there is a lot of merit to giving Ember increased damage, but Ember Spirit is a hero with really low agi gain. He usually builds up Battle Fury, which is a attack damage item, not a base damage item.
yeah, that's true.
And so the only time that I would see Ags on Sven is in a like a number 4 position, like a supportive Sven trying to enhance damage for a hero that already builds base damage. But Ember's not one of those.
Yeah, I guess if they wanted that, there's also the option of like the Magnus, which gives you the additional cleave as well.
Hmm.
So, I mean, I guess the other option is maybe Super does consider building more stats based damage, something like a Butterfly, which also gives you that Flutter ability. Could be nice on Ember combined with the Wisp for Super chase mode, but in general, I guess you already have Warcry, you've got the Remnants, you probably don't need the move speed, so uh, I guess it could just be a casual Sven. He's still a pretty good
Yeah.
hero on his own. He gives you the plus armor to counter the swarm. Obviously helps his teammates survive through Chronosphere. With Wisp at his side is incredibly tanky. And the one other thing that Sven provides, which they did not have before, was the ability to clear out towers. Like with God Strength and Warcry, you can just run up and start smacking buildings. And previously, that was something none of these heroes offered.
Hmm.
So it kind of fills a niche that like the Wraith King wouldn't offer you as much of. Well,
Yeah.
with that, let's introduce our teams. Vici Gaming leading this best of three, 1-0. We got Black handling the Sven. FY will be your Wisp on the IO. Super will be playing the Ember Spirit. Fenrir the Scarlet Mage, and that leaves Ice 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 on the Elder Titan this time around. For IG, they'll go with a different strat. No more Tinker for them. June on the Centaur War Runner. Chuan will be handling the Jakiro. 430, your Faceless Void. So it looks like it'll be a dual lane mid. Faceless Void. We've seen a lot more dual laning in this patch already. Chizbug on the Lich, and then in the safe lane, we'll go Luo as the Weaver.
I'm gonna go ahead and do a quick restart just to
Okay.
get back into it. Perfect world.
No
But
problem.
yeah,
You know, the one thing that I'm noticing is with these dual lanes, I feel like a lot of it has to do with the double rune spawn. It does seem like having that extra hero mid makes it much easier to secure not just one, but potentially 2 runes. I'm wondering
there's
how
a
much
lot.
that factors in the team's thinking.
Yeah, I also think it's just because there's so much Lich. I mean, in general, like Lich and Wisp are heroes that are even before the double rune were very frequently seen in the mid lane in a duo sense, and so I kind of feel like just the prevalence of those heroes in these team strategies definitely lends its hand to that as well. So it's kind of it becomes a contested lane, becomes contested runes, and it's a
Uh-oh.
cyclical nature there.
FY, be careful, my friend. There's quite a squad waiting for you. Yeah, I'll just kind of poke his little snout out and then retreat out. So they secure the bounty rune. They also grab an invis rune for Luo. The double rune spawn going the way of IG. 2 for good luck, if nothing else.
So, the Sven Wisp combo obviously has a lot of kill potential. If the Chronosphere is ever on cooldown, then they're able to kind of go for the engagements. They're able to go in and get that Stormhammer on a target after the relocate, pursue with the Warcry and Tether movement speed, and just run their targets down. But there are still some combos that can be waiting for them without the Chronosphere. You could still see the Ice Path or the Hoof Stomp making their day a little difficult. For now, as Super and FY are going to be taking up the mid lane together, it looks like FY kind of wants to make his way towards the jungle, though. If he starts pulling independently and getting his own experience, then he's going to be able to get to level 6 that much more rapidly, and it'll also make it difficult for Chuan and Juna on the top lane.
Huh, I'm surprised. He didn't even bother to do the double stack, which he did clear the trees for, and he was pretty much in perfect position. But instead, he just decides, I need to start pulling this top lane back directly. And it's not just that, it's like they have the perfect lineup to clear these stacks. You've got Sven, later on the Ember can do it quite easily, but they're just going to go on top for a first blood. On to June they go. Black will be there with the Stormbolt, but the Stomp will actually end up hitting 2 heroes, not just the Scarith Mage, but also the Sven, and as a result, June will make his way out. I meant to say that the other way around, not just the Sven, but also the Scarith Mage, who normally can avoid those sorts of things, but does get caught.
I don't think they actually connected with the tether slow because of the fact that Black's attack speed was slowed and he was waiting for one more right click before he moved into position to connect with the tether, and that gave enough time for the hoof stomp. Now the ice path will come through. It's just going to be some harassment though, as FY has plenty of tangos, even the magic stick early to make sure that Black stays up. It's actually going to be a very hard, heavy hero to actually bring down with the medic behind him.
Man, look at this bottom lane. Ice is having a... Like, you look at the Elder Titan last game, but this time he gets a 1v1 compared to the Elder Titan against a dual or tri-lane in game 1. And, man, the difference is stark. 11 CS. In the mid lane, it's 10-2 for Super, already pulling ahead of 430's Void. One of his favorite heroes being used against him. But this Void will not find a double damage, so things may swing around the other direction.
Yeah, I think Chuan is kind of out of place on this top lane here. Like, I would definitely prefer to see him helping out the Weaver and maybe getting a little bit more zoning presence against the Elder Titan, rather than just committing to this try and possibly being a target.
They're going in. Black's going in hard for this one, but he gets caught by a Stomp, a double edge, and I think he's gone it a bit too far. FI will slowly try to heal him up. They continue chasing June. One more nuke would do it. Do they have that last bolt? Yeah, it's coming in. Auto attacks there as well. First blood going the way of Avicii Gaming is Invictus Gaming. Trying to retreat out. A secondary Stormbolt comes through. He got the mana. They played it just to the brink and end up coming out on top. FY, I think, gave him the stick charges there for the extra mana, and that allowed that second Stormbolt.
Small bits played by Black here is that he didn't salve the Wisp who's tethered to him. He salved himself, and so instead of getting both of them to full HP, he just gets himself. So wasn't fully thinking on that one, unfortunately, but still getting the 2 kills to start this off. It kind of shows the weakness of Lich in the early game in an aggressive tri-lane stance. He just doesn't do enough. The Frost Blast at level 1 in particular, and the right clicks, it's just not that contributional. I don't, in general, with this terrain change and this patch, like aggressive tri-lanes from the Radiant side, and I certainly don't like them with a Lich, so... we already see some of the weaknesses here as Vici just kind of outplay them, use the Magic Stick very effectively to bait with FY, and yeah, they pull ahead.
Yeah, this could be a dual lane denying the Elder Titan. It could be trying to slow down the Ember. That said, the Ember has completely been turned on after 430 got the double damage rune. Now the CS is going 430's way, and he's got 9 denies to boot. What a difference one rune can make, and Luo also hitting his level 5 can spam his Sakuchi more often, and he's starting to do well, so their solos are doing well to make up for the fact that this tri-lane is not but they may lose more soon. Chasebug's been caught out again. He's way too far out. As the Tether Slow can come through momentarily, Black will Warcry. He drives past June and Schwan to get this kill. He might end up going down. There's no Tether to keep him alive. Just like running through the neighborhood, man. Getting bottles thrown at him as he goes. FY now Tether's back, but he gets caught out. That overextension by Black now costing FY his life as well. And Fenrir looks to turn this, but slowed down by a dual breath. Can't get in range for anything. Will June even end up going down? It looks like no. Well, maybe now with Black respawning. No, they've retreated just at the right time. A Storm Bolt, another Arcane Bolt. They'll continue chasing all the bolts thrown onto Tron, but...
Oh, great
Tether.
timing.
What a Tether from FY. Oh man, he came from a long distance to get that one off.
Yeah,
now Chronosphere mid. Super nearly killing off 430. 430 forced to blow it.
Oh, the Flame Guard, though, it forced Ferrari back. If the Flame Guard wasn't active, Ferrari wouldn't be this low on HP. He wouldn't have had to retreat. He still would have gotten a couple
whacks. He may go in.
In,
There's no Mon on Super. I think he's considering it as the Flame Guard ends.
Oh.
Could be perfect time. He needs a bash. Where's that bash? That's 3 points in time lock. Doesn't get a single one. I mean, it's not that bad that standing alone there, but yeah, just didn't have the numbers going his way that time.
Now, this bottom lane was actually quite topsy-turvy. It really comes down to the fact that runes are guaranteed to spawn on both locations. Ice was able to go this bottle build and get a refill every 2 minutes so that he can keep his spam on the lane, use a lot of Astral Spirits, and essentially like he won out the initial creep phase, then Weaver caught up a ton, and now with this refill, ET is right back matching pace.
And the thing is, they're going aggressive tri-lane, so the supports will never contest the bottom rune, and the Weaver can't because the lane's always pushed by the Spirit, so like you said, it's just guaranteed regen for him every minute. Or, sorry, every 2 minutes. It's a lot.
Yeah, it's really powerful, and it just makes it perfect for this particular situation. He gets another one, the Invis rune here. Not really going to surprise Weaver to his death, but still just getting the refill and getting that extra potential. So, IG, I mean, they're doing okay in the mid lane now. That Ferrari kind of got that comeback swing, but they're not suppressing the Ember Spear. They're not suppressing the other Titan. They're just trying to stop this Wisp from getting level 6, and although that is accomplished, it's at what cost?
Also want to mention that 430, he made a long journey bottom after seeing the rune taken top, and he didn't get either one. So he's thwarted on both counts. Doesn't have a bottle, but was probably just hoping for, you know, a regen, a haste turn, something to get him back in the game a bit. He's still farming fine, but obviously disappointed as that's a good timing window for Void to get a solo kill right when he hits level 6. But now Super has withstood the aggression, has full HP, and he might even be the one on harassment duty. IG and Chizbug and Tron, Team CH did smoke and head all the way bottom, but they didn't find an opening at all.
Yeah, it's actually the fact that Ice had that Invis bottle. They don't have any detection. There was no way to get that kill, so they just had to let it lie and waste the smoke. They were making their way all the way back top. Just a lot of unfortunate time. At least they get a sacrifice in the meantime. Twan moves up to level 4, and now he's going back down to the bottom lane where he could have been this entire game, but he made the decision to commit to the aggro try. It had some value in getting kills, but I don't think it accomplished as much as they wanted to in this laning phase.
And you see, like, yeah, he's level 4 at this point, but normally a Lich in a dual lane will be very close to level 6, and certainly level 5 at this point, if he's just constantly denying creeps. And his lane's not getting, you know, like 20 denies put up against it. So, it might look like he's doing okay for levels, but for Lich, he should be ahead, and he's not. That is a problem. They do still have the Chain Frost Chronosphere combo, though.
Yeah,
it's something that can always turn this game around. They'll silence June and now begin to throw the nukes at him. Tethering the Sven, they'll Warcry forward. Vici Gaming getting aggressive. But Chizbug will be here to potentially turn this. Throws out a Frost Blast. Still chasing after June. Do they have enough Arcane Bolts? They'll need one more than this to get the kill. But it will force June all the way back. He will finally get to complete his Tranquil Boots. But man, he's been under a lot of pressure. At this point, the main bright spots are still the two solos. 430 is farming well, but he hasn't managed to shut down the Ember. And they haven't really shut down the Elder Titan either, so I almost say those two lanes are just a wash, Blaze.
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, they will be able to scale pretty hard and do a lot with the just general gold gains. I guess it's good that they weren't shut down, but all the same, they have to do something with their ultimates. They have to make the combos happen, whether just going in for Stampede play and getting great initiation or seeing those Chronos and Chain Frost fly. But yeah, try lighting a Centaur and only getting the Tranquil Boots here at almost 9 minutes. Not that great. Interesting stun, actually hitting on June while farming up the creep wave, but it does cost him some mana, so looks like Wisp will have to farm up that bottle quite readily if they don't feel they have enough. They have 2 bottles already, so what do you think? Is 3 bottles too many now that there are 2 runes?
I guess one can bottle Crow and the other two can get the runes, but that's assuming you get both the runes.
Yeah.
It might. I don't know. I guess it depends how well the heroes use it. I would say if they don't use it, if they don't all use it extremely well, it's probably too much. But
Yeah. I'd honestly say Ember maybe just after the laning phase is over gives Wisp the bottle, so FY can make use of it, and Ember doesn't really need it that bad. ET could do the same.
they're gonna stun June. Nice strike or treads troggling there as they look to go in on him, and well, he's brought low and will be finished off in the end. Good chain stun from Vici, or chain nuking, I should say, and they get another kill on this offlane Centaur. It puts more and more pressure on the 430 Void to deliver in pickoffs, but so far he's just been stuck mid, trying to farm against Super, who's trying to force out a Chronosphere, and almost successful in that with this DD rune.
Yeah, very frustrating. Obviously, Ferrari didn't go for the bottle, so his sustained regen is this magic stick from all the spell spam, and that's about it. So not the easiest lane for him, and they don't have any firm grasp on any particular lane. The Weaver's doing pretty good though, moving towards this Linked Sphere, and yeah, there is going to be a lot of value in that, just preventing the silence coming out from the Skyrim.
Have they gotten every rune? I'm trying to remember if IG have gotten any. Oh, IG got the first two, that's right. But since that 0-minute spawn, I want to say if it hasn't been every rune for Vici, it's been damn close.
Yeah, I think maybe one bounty rune went their way, but nothing significant.
That's kind of ridiculous, especially with the bounty rune just give you gold experience for against a Lich. That's pretty valuable. We'll see. Ice forced to TP off this bottom lane. Got a bit aggressive, and the poking continues mid lane. Super went in with a slight. He didn't bother with the chains. 430 does have those stick charges, which he's trying to use to bait. But Super is not taking it. They're both just happy to farm.
Yeah. Right now, I would say that Vici Gaming are the ones that really just need to get a little bit more before they can start making things happen across the map. Get a relocate up, move Ember towards his first major item, maybe drums, and then they can actually start making things happen. Still, IG have really good late games, so passivity isn't that bad for them either. It just comes down to how they counter-initiate with their big ultis. Lich is now level 6. Cheesebug having a lot of potential if he syncs up with the Void, but they're currently in opposite lanes now. They seem to be joining up a little bit, and they might try to make a go here on the Ember Spirit.
It's going to be tough, though. It's daytime, and Super is a hill ward. He's going to have to chrono, like, right now. It's already too late. Yeah, Sleight of Fist even hitting Cheesebug, in case he didn't know he was there. He certainly does now. And we'll see, like clockwork, Ice is getting ready to set up for that next rune. We'll probably push the lane one more time and then go grab it. Yeah, Spirit gets dropped out.
Oh, look over.
See it move soon. Yeah,
Eastern Jungle, some nice stacking going on. Triple stack going out for Black with FY's help. And yeah, they're just going to kind of keep farming, keep moving him forward. Maybe look for a Blink Dagger on him.
That would give them so much needed initiation. Outside of that, all they really have is the Ember, and it is pretty risky to put him in that position. Another bounty rune snapped up. This time by Ice in the bottom lane, while Super again picks up a rune at the top side of the map. That one will be a regen for him. And now they make their way bottom. 430 is going to join them. Dire do have this Observer Ward mid. So they saw this rotation, and Ice is in decent position to reveal it. Chronosphere might catch you out though. Oh, caught by the Ice Path. This is trouble for Ice. They really can't relocate into this either. They'd be relocating to death, and they'll just let him go. Still 4 heroes just to get the offlaner. But it is a nice kill. He's gotten a lot out of that offlane.
Yeah, Stampede even is a pretty big cooldown there. So, I mean, right now the pressure coming in to bring down the Yellow Titan is nice. It'll get some kills on the board for IG, but they want even more. Super, without Chrono on the field, feels very active, is able to just kind of go in behind this creep wave, clear it out under the tower, just not afraid of anything, really.
There's a Mask of Madness now on 430, and at the timely bash, maybe that can get the Centaur in vision for a stomp on Super. He's trying to worm his way into the tree line. Now gets gone on, but there's a Mystic Flare to follow this up. It's backup arriving, and an easy kill going back the way of Vici Gaming. I mean, look at the trade. It's like a 4-hero investment just to kill Ice and a Chronosphere. Mid lane, it takes a Chains and a Mystic Flare. A lower cooldown and a much less expensive combo in general.
Top lane, tier 1's going to go down for Black here. He pops the God's Strength, gets a little bit of attack speed for a brief tether overcharge, but now they look to maybe relocate. Yeah, they're going in.
Jump it in deep, 430, no Chronosphere. Stormbolt's going to connect to the... Try to go for the kill at him. The Chain Thrust is there, doing good damage. Really good damage as now the Weaver arrives. Fenrir in trouble. They may lose more than just this. The Wisp, trying to bring him back to safety, will retreat his Sven out to top lane. Nicely played by FY, and what looked like a total crisis turns out okay for them.
Chain Frost in the jungle, man. It's just absolutely insane what you can accomplish with that spell. And yeah, they're able to turn it 1 for 1. And in the end, with
Another
them
double
taking,
rune for Vici, man. We need a rune counter at this point. This is just getting ridiculous.
seriously.
Super might get
Oh,
caught,
Super
though.
just
No. Frustrating, man. Imagine if they had a blink on Centaur.
it's just yeah, like the 200 range blink. Honestly, like he just needs to close distance a tiny bit more, catch Super just a little bit off guard because he's playing with fire already. Like he is always in a position where they could pick him, and they're gonna
Oh,
go.
Chronosphere found him, but who's found whom? 430. Caught up by the silence, chased out by a last nuke. Will end up going down. He needed another backtrack, didn't get it. And now Vici get aggressive. Another slight through. Super did not have a chains for that, but the stomp will catch out too. They can go for a double chains again. Oh, they've been woken up. And now, still catching out Chuan. He's probably going down here. Another smack. This time from Ice Ice Ice. He just keeps on clubbing. Plus 168 damage. This guy likes to party. IG, apparently not so much. Super will drive Chispug back. And Vici Gaming continue their domination. Now leading 11-4. Super, oh, he's out of mana. He actually may go down to a tower shot here. Did he spend his gold? Oh, Wisp gonna heal him up. Relocate him out. FY with the medevac at the final hour. And he may just have to go back to Suicide, or maybe they bring the whole team back in. There's no Chronosphere to wait for this. They're TPing in the Void mid. I don't think they realize that 2 might come back, but they come into an Ice Path now. Does Super get the jump on Luo? There is a time lapse available if need be. The tower mid gets denied, but just looking for more and more aggression. June silenced as he tries to go in. The bloodbath continues. On to Chispug. Vici Gaming are just camping mid lane, slaughtering the entirety of IG. Now Super rages forward. Another slight could kill off Luo. Another nuke. There you go. It's 14-4, and they're not even done yet. Do they look for Luo? They almost get him with the Astral Spirit. Oh, man. IG, this is a tough hill to climb now, Blaze. Closing in on 7,500 gold. Fight recap, that's... Oh, damn it. Alright, there we go. I feel like it's more of a gold change than 1,800, but...
Oh yeah, there were like 3 different fight recaps throughout that, so it's split up for sure. But
okay,
it's still Vici taking like not just the first fight, but the second and third, just continuing to dominate, to roll forward, and really use this lineup to its fullest. A lot of longevity in the IO, even without a bottle. He's providing some great sustainability. And, I mean, the first half of the fight, it was just all on the Ember Spirit. It was just Super.
and to make matters worse, they just smoked under a dire war. This team can't catch a break. Sorry, go ahead. You were talking about Super.
But yeah, no, he was just absolutely dominant in his movement, his usage of abilities there. He ran out of mana at the end, but even then, Wisp was able to bail him out. But he used his entire mana bar as efficiently as you can in that kind of situation. And it really was just him and Fenrir making things happen. Black and FY were the reinforcements in the third.
Are we going to jinx him? We just might have jinxed him. He gets caught up by a Chrono bottom lane. There's a Macro Pyre waiting on. Chain Frost lopped in as well. Wisp relocates in solo, and they're like, oh, this could be free food potentially, but not with Black here. FY, he'll stick up. He gets mech'd up as well by Ice Ice Ice, so he will be going back soon, though. And it's a 1-for-1 exchange as the Void falls. So even then, when it looks like they get a clean kill, they don't. And the Wisp ends up going down to the Centaur War Runner. I'm not sure. Was that an Urn charge that he used? Does he have an Urn? No, he doesn't have an Urn. Not sure, but either way, Black gets stuck. Oh, he was waiting top lane when he went back after the relocate. That's right. Luo now trying to run. He's silenced. Vici Gaming. They'll be forced off the fight, while meanwhile, Ice 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 still continues his chase. He gets kill on one with the Spirit. He's looking at the Chuan kill as well, potentially. No, he decides to back off. Yeah, the Wisp ended up going down here when she came back from the relocate, and June was waiting for that.
Yeah, exactly. But that's, I mean, the only thing they really get. Initially, like, obviously they started with Super, and that was great, but they required the shotgun chain frost to the face that is still a massive cooldown. Like, it's great to secure your kill, but holy crap, committing 145 seconds of your only major team fight at that stage? Oh, that's just a brutal loss, but they felt it was warranted. He is really big, but it's still a hefty cost, as obviously the fight breaks out once again, and Vici proved triumphant. So just really good baiting, really good maneuvering throughout the battlefield, and IG just come up wanting every time.
Yeah, they do have a linkage for a Luo now, but there are still some solutions for this. Mostly, I think it's just the fact that Vici Gaming can just right-click him. Like, they're pretty farmed already. You see Black now picking up a Blink Dagger with God Strength activated. He's going to be hitting for... Well, at that point, you get, what, plus 100 damage. It's about to be 150. He's going to be hitting for, like, well into the 250-ish range as soon as he cracks 11. And, you know, that's not factoring the mass attack speed. and the Wisp follow-up damage, like, they'll be able to force this Weaver off the fights almost immediately. So even with him, it's almost like he just has to keep on farming for a couple more minutes more.
My goodness, Schwan is actually like practically dead just from Searing Chains right click.
He might be dead. Another Sleight of Fist. The chains were cooling down. He could spear it forward if he wants to risk this kill. They could relocate it as well. Super. Oh, might get caught up by 430. Chrono found him. 430 lays the trap, sets it, and delivers. He'll punish Super again. Saying only I can play Ember that well. But he gets slept. Now they're relocated. If they can get a stun on 430, it will not. Oh, actually, it does follow him. He runs back into it, in fact. The stomp coming through now. Hits 2. FY dropping low. Weaver might finish him off. They're going to lose 2. They may end up losing 3. Black barely able to retreat. That was not quite as clean as what they were hoping for, Blaze.
Definitely not. Finally, the Faceless Void, Chronosphere, they can not only get the kill, but get it without committing too much, so that after they get the Ember kill, they can follow it up with more, which is really important there. Obviously, they still lose the Lich to the Elder Titan, but yeah, so sometimes you just can't get out unscathed. In this position, they're just happy to get some major kills and get some gold on the board as Weaver farms up. Luo has gotten 123 CS throughout this bloodbath of a game, so he is going to be able to build up towards a major item very soon. We'll see if he wants to go for something like the old Dezo or if he wants to move into maybe Crit. But no matter the case, he needs to get some offensive potential to right-click down. These low armor heroes, I mean, they're very squishy without the Warcry, but it's still them maneuvering and just making it so they can survive just by being in the right position.
Yeah, they were kind of trying to set up a trap there behind Black, with Super also joining him, and they look for Fenrir now. If they can get off this initial Stormbolt, that might be enough. Centaur, meanwhile, actually double edges a creep wave. That leaves Chispoke helpless. And they'll just put the Lich on the altar and retreat.
Yeah. Now, one thing I want to mention is that this Stampede hasn't really felt like an impactful spell, mostly because of how fast Vici can be in turn. Popping the Warcry, getting like the Astro Spirit move buff, the Tether move speed buff, they can chase even against 522 movement speed heroes. It's not something you often get to say, but in this case, it's absolutely true. They have so many ways of boosting their movement speed. They're really on target with just their ability to keep pace. And yeah, now they go ahead, do the good old God strength on the tier 1, but June has something.
Stomp off. FY's in position for a relocate out. They need to chrono him, but 430 gets Stormbolted. Black heads to the north. Now the silence of the 430. He's got to get out of range of this Mystic Flare and the Elder Titan Earth Splitter. Jesus, he's running through the apocalypse right now just to survive. So, let alone going in on the offensive. This just distance from damage from distance of Vici. Insta-killing the Lich. No Chronosphere into Lich ultimate, and Chuan is trapped behind the tower, has no teleport scroll. He just joined this bottom lane, and now with the Sleight of Fist here, I think they're like, he can't be alone, right? There's no way Chuan's alone, but they'll just let him walk out. Could have definitely killed him there, but they didn't know, I guess.
Yeah, it's hard to say. I mean, they did bring Ferrari down to 50 HP with their just perfect follow through from stun to silence, and then they actually almost ticked him over with the urn, but yeah, in the end, they just go and retreat. They don't get their ulti combo off, and it's getting to make or break time for IG. They really need to get this Chrono plus Chain Frost, at least in, if not the next fight, then the fight after that, or Vici are just going to keep running over this game.
Man, what happened to Wisp's face? Well, not face,
Portrait?
whatever you call this. Wisp is apparently dead. Ice Frog, you've killed our Io.
Celestial, I don't know.
Give it back. Give it back, please. Black will look for the blink in here, bottom lane. There is still a Chronosphere, and there is still a Chain Frost. This could be poor for him, but he blinks out. He dodges the Centaur Stomp. Then they go back in on June. This damage from distance. They managed to kill off the Centaur at the start of the fight. It's a great Chronosphere from 430. Chain Frost bouncing into the fray. The Wisp relocate out just seconds late. It looks like, well, they'll end up losing Super for this. Black now trying to retreat out as well. FY will be going back a little bit farther. Well, just a few inches forward, I guess. And in the end, it's still a 2-for-1.
Chain Frost just had so many creeps inside the Chronosphere, they couldn't get enough focus damage of the heroes. There was also a lot of Flame Guard to absorb it. So in the end, they don't get anything but the Sky, who already dropped his payload and just wasn't really going to contribute anything more. So picking off the Void again, it really is IG that are looking for a big comeback, because right now they're just so far down and out. The stuns are connecting legit, and this Ember Spirit now has a Battle Fury to Sleight of Fist around with. So any clumping from IG is heavily punished.
Yeah, and they're pretty damn ultimate reliant. Stampede feels pretty useless this game because they're always just getting chains. Seems like there's always a multiple hero Sven stun, but if they don't have Chronosphere Chain Frost, I see IG really having trouble getting kills. And even when they do, there's still that defensive relocate from FY, which can so often bring an ally to safety. Now Vici
So
Gaming rotate towards mid lane, and they have not stacked the jungle recently. They've been too busy farming heroes, but if they want to slow this game down, they've got 2 heroes with cleave now, and it's really IG who've got the pressure on them to make some plays. It just doesn't feel like they can sit back at this point.
yeah, I definitely agree with that. I mean, they have to test something, but it's so hard to do when Cheesebug is still only level 10. Like, every Chain Frost you commit takes your team fight out of the picture for an extended period of time. So I honestly think they're in farm mode, at least for a short time frame, until Vici forces it. Once they get level 11 on the Lich, once they get Desolator on the Weaver, as he is building it, then that would be the time where they have the most potential damage output. But for now, they just don't feel confident in any fights they can take. Even though they do need to make something happen, it's controlled aggression. They need to make sure that they do it at the right time, and that's not right now.
So, Little B God's got some quick reactions, man. Black has been on the ball with these blink outs.
Oh, yeah.
And Burning is casting this on the Chinese stream, so I'm sure he's been suitably impressed by one of the players, I think, who looks up to him the most in the scene. Black absolutely adores Burning. Like, honestly, he's like all that the guy will talk about if you ever get a chance to talk to him at a LAN event. Very nice guy. But yeah, I'm sure he's honored that he's getting to have a good game in front of Burning's watchful eyes.
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, you could argue that this centaur should be stampeding his blink so that there is no potential to dodge, but no, it's just really great play from Black that's keeping control of the game, not being caught out. And I mean, even if he did get caught out, he is almost tanky enough to be able to endure it with the help of the Wisp. But in this position, there's no reason to risk it. He just outmaneuvers his opponents, and he's landing stuns while the others are not. This is a big problem for IG, is they have very limited control.
Vici Gaming will go into the pit now. They've got God's Strength ready, and they will begin the Roche. The question is if there's even an effort to contest here from IG. 430 can start moving, but this Roche is actually taking a decent while. Black not hitting as hard as they would like, and they don't have any minus armor, I guess is the main issue here, Blaze. So they may not be able to do this quickly enough, and now they're in position. You can see the entirety of IG starting to roam their way towards the pit, while Vici Gaming backs off. They'll push out the lanes, and they will try not to clump in that ever so small new Roshan pit.
So, still not finding the time window. They actually might be the ones that are pushed in against very shortly. But yeah, for right now, at least they've got the Desolator on the Weaver, and he's just got to make it count. Has to get a lot of right clicks off through his team fight. If he's not taking advantage of the fact that items can proc, he's actually essentially just been straight nerfed based on the Geminate attack cooldown increase. So
what was the... Do you know the exact change? If not, I can just look it up real quick.
it was 2.5 to 3 seconds. So, I mean, it sounds really small, but 20% increase in cooldown for your second attack is actually really huge.
Yeah, and I mean, Desolator still has some utility that, besides the fact that it's not on proc, it obviously helps you push really well. And there is still a tier 1 up bottom and a tier 1 up top, but that said, actually they still have all 3 tier 1s. Jeez. Yeah, this is 27 minutes. I mean, in theory, this Desolator could bring a lot of gold in for the team, but in practice, they got to get to those towers and right-click them, which has been a tall order against Vici so far, who are now looking to make their way bottom. Let's see if they go for this one. They've got Fenrir off in the tree line. He's dropped a sentry ward just to confirm there's nothing up the cliff. And now they'll drop a lane ward down as well. And it looks like IG will retreat.
So, yeah, with that lane sentry down, I heard God's Strength here. They're going for Roche, just Black in the pit all by himself. Now FY joins the party. He doesn't have any urn charges, though.
But this is a sneaky one. Yeah, I don't know if he could do it without the heal, though. He's got stick charges.
No, not, I mean, Warcry would help, but you don't have any healing. Like, if they gave FY the bottle, I think that's manageable, but not as it was.
Maybe Ice 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 could have healed them. Can he get close enough to heal them from uphill?
That's a good question. I honestly am curious about the mechanism radius from that perspective. Hard to call.
Maybe he could have passed the bottle off to the Wisp before she went in. I mean, there's some small things that could have been done, but it still would take a while, and it is still pretty risky. And, well, that's going to prompt Black to say, screw it, man. I want some lifesteal. Now they'll be able to rush with the next God Strength, if IG don't contest, but... And it's a big if. IG are always getting farmed. And I do worry a bit for Vici Gaming just because this Weaver is so big. FY has a Ghost Scepter, so he won't be an easy kill, but if there's a nice Chronosphere and Luo's able to just drop the Swarm on 4 or 5 heroes, and they caught 3 last time, and then just DPS down your Skywrath Mage, maybe even your Elder Titan, that's a big chunk of Vici Gaming's damage down off the bat, and they can be kited and controlled quite easily if this Ember's out of the fight as well, who is still pretty damn squishy.
Yep, so they're going right back in. They have the God Strength. It's a short cooldown, but I think IG, even in that 60-second frame, are a lot better off in trying to contest it if they do move now. The fact is they have the Chain Frost level 2 up on the Lich. They Faceless Void is in a really good spot item-wise, but unfortunately they don't have the map vision. So if they go into that part of the map, they're walking into completely blind territory. The Swarm finally comes out, but it's not going to change Roshan's fate.
In fact, they might lose the Jakiro for this. Chuan caught by a concussive shot. Now an Earth Splitter to zone him back off of this.
Wow.
He'll get slowed from long range, but now they jump forward again with a Spirit coming out from Super. He really wants to commit to this. Well, too bad for him. Stampede will be used to disengage. Nice ice path there.
Yeah, very predictive Earth Splitter, though, in that situation. Just making sure you can connect with them. Of course, the Stampede is a shorter cooldown, so not the biggest deal, but it still shows the move prediction coming in from Vici Gaming. They know where the enemy is moving. They know where to jump them, and IG, they just have to prevent it. At least weather the storm, find their opening, and make use of this Void. He's almost 16. He's got 3,800 banked up. Ferrari, all eyes on you, man.
IG continue to push through. They have a God Strength ready in 13 seconds. Now the BKB does come out on the Void, and this answers a lot of problems. The Sven stun, the Mystic Flare, the Skywrath Mage silence. He is guaranteed to get off the Chrono, unless he gets juked by the Blink Dagger, or maybe by a zip out from Super. But this gives 430 a much more confidence that at least he will not die if he jumps in. Let's see if he goes for it. Glyph now popped. IG still hanging back, reluctant to engage here. Well, it's up to Luo to kind of punish this one. Forcing the creep wave down. They still don't make their move. They actually get a stomp on Super. But there's always that relocate out, and so they're just not going to bother even trying to go on him.
And just
good positioning from FY throughout that push.
Oh, yeah. Very, very experienced Wisp player. Like, if you're looking at, even across the world, Wisp players, this guy's probably in the top 4. Like, he just has so much problems with this hero. There's a couple that...
I would say, like, LANM was... Or, sorry, MMY was fantastic. FY, certainly No Tail, probably the number 1 on that list. And I'm trying to think, who else would you put up there?
Extinct is a really good Wisp player, too.
Okay.
From SEA, so...
It's funny, because if this was a year ago, there wouldn't be, like, well, maybe a year and a half ago, there wouldn't be a single Chinese player on that list. Or Asia player, I should say.
Oh, yeah, they hated that hero so much, but...
Black has just been on the ball with these blinks out. Not once has he gotten caught. Oh, now I jinxed him, man. This might be my 3rd jinx in as many days. But there's a double Searing Chains to connect, and Black is thinking about to go in. Oh no, Chronosphere could find him. FY's got to stay back. He's got to relocate him out. No, he didn't get the timing right. He didn't get the tether off. He cost Black.
He was BKB'd.
Oh, okay. Never mind. Well, he tried for the relocate anyway, but obviously can't. So, a ways to relocate, I suppose, but the effort was there. And 430 will make his way out. If he didn't BKB, he might have just been nuked down anyway. So I don't know. I don't know if he could have lived through that. Just he got too low before 430 jumped in.
Definitely. Tough position to be in here. They can't really... Vici Gaming can't afford to let up here. I mean, giving away a kill like that obviously gives a lot of gold in favor of the team that has such a disadvantage as well. Their Aegis is going to be expiring in 2 minutes' time, and finally, it's just the Weaver's getting big.
He's going to be called out, though. He's been hexed up. Super walking onto him with the Eldertide Astral Spirit. He really drops quickly. One more slight will finish him off. Oh, and as chat is rightfully reminding us, players, we forgot someone very important. We forgot EGM. Hasn't been seen playing as much Wisp lately, but man, that guy does play one hell of a Wisp.
Yeah, definitely. Most definitely.
No, they'll push in now. They're going to use an Ember Spirit up on the high ground with the chains coming through a Chuan to try and force the issue. But the full push is not here yet. They're not completely committed to this one. Super's starting to get chunked down. A lot of damage from that Weaver, and you see Super is very, very squishy. Sleight of Fist through, Chronosphere, down to FY, also got Fenrir. Mask Command is popped, he gets changed, but he BKBs out of that and then continues pursuit. Slowed down now by the Eldertide Earth Splitter, but there's actually no remnants on Super. They could pop this Aegis fairly easily if they want to. Luo's looking for that aggression. Linked Sphere will be popped by the Stormbolt, but there's no follow-up beyond that.
So it's just a difficult position now for Vici Gaming to really seal the deal in the game. They have some great carries, they had some great momentum, but they need a Hex pick off, honestly, to feel confident here.
Linked Sphere has cooled down. Instead, they'll go for the Jakiro. Black blinking over where the Ice Path was. Now the Stampede used as he's forced to retreat out. And Super will attempt now to jump onto June. Brings him low. He still has Aegis available. June trying to retreat. He ends up losing. Aegis gets the kill before his last dying breath. He'll come back now. No Chronosphere. Did I think about going for a Bashlord play? No Bashlord. He'll just back off.
Yeah, but Super's big now. He has the Daedalus coming out on the Courier right now. Even without the Aegis, he's happy to kind of stand and deliver. Just has to worry about his low armor. 9 armor is not great. As we mentioned, the agility on this hero is just not that substantial, so he doesn't get it naturally. He is a glass cannon, and yeah, Weaver's the one to try to shatter him. We do see that he's got the Demon Edge. Could be an MKB, could be a Daedalus. Either one will proc on the Geminate now, but both will be the needed enhanced physical damage.
Now your Sven heads out towards the bottom lane. We'll have Super potentially joining him soon with a haste turn. He drops his Spirit to cover the path of his retreat, while FY will start stacking Ancients. It seems Vici Gaming are starting to fear the Chronosphere more and more. I think rightfully so. In theory, that relocate out can work. You have to worry about Black using his BKB at their own time. And the thing is, this Void hits fast enough, and now the Weaver starts to hit hard enough that even if you want to do that relocate play, it's possible it'll just be too late. They can burst this Ember down very quickly. This Sven a bit tankier if he gets off his Warcry, but still with Mask of Madness he also gets shredded, so it's really tough for FY to make those relocates happen in practice, I think.
We'll see how fast this tower down bottom drops. It would be one they'd love to contest, but they don't have Fortify, and it's just getting right-click so damn quick. Like, if the Jakiro came in and dropped a Macro Pyre, then he'd probably just have been picked off by the Blink Initiation. They can't half-ass this. They have to go in with full intentions to defend, and they're just going to let their last outer tier tower fall. They want Luo to finally finish up on that Daedalus, I believe, and then they'll be able to try to take a fight.
They'll use God's Strength here, and they're going to engage, and it's a long route back to the base from 430. He's going to have to TP. He's TPing from the northern side. I believe this was spotted. Stomp comes in, connects on Black, nearly dropping even before the Chronosphere is deployed. It's not needed. With the Mask of Madness just melts, the relocate will be there to at least save him. Oh, not a far relocate, though. Super just sent a little bit back, and 430 even thinks about a leap in again. They're going to come back after these messages. 430 caught as they return right into the Ice Path that was waiting. The double-edged stomp. IG with the huge turn of events. Oh my goodness. That Mask of Madness Sven just exploded to the Weaver right-clicks. Like, the Chrono would have caught him, but he was already dead. Wasn't even needed.
Yeah, exactly. The 30% damage enhancement is just absolutely absurd there. It did look like Ferrari kind of wasted his BKB. Like, after the relocate came away, there was no value in it. But at the same time, he kind of used that as a bait. They saw the BKB down, they Searing Changed him, thought they had it, but they put so much focus on bringing down the Void, they forgot what they were jumping back into. And that's Jakiro and Centaur. They're the two heroes that are going to easily punish relocate rebound on 2. And yeah, they certainly did here. IG are pulling ahead massively compared to what we've seen so far this game. The experience is actually back in their court, and the gold graph is certainly tending that way as well.
Leaping forward as Black charges in. This is going to end up being kind of a funny Benny Hill style situation. Now a Hex onto June. He'll try to retreat out. He's got a 4-step. No, he wants to go in. Back onto Black. He goes without the Wisp here to protect it. It's too late, perhaps. Well, nice relocate once again. FY with the clutch saves, but that last auto attack, oh, not enough. It brought him damn low. But this Sven is honestly just, he's feeling too squishy. I don't know what you do about that, Blaze. Like, maybe you even have to get rid of this Mask of Madness and just go for, like, your Heart tank Sven kind of build.
Yeah, I mean, Dominator definitely would provide him a lot more EHP by comparison, but I think, yeah, just going for Heart in general and being more cautious about when you mom is going to be probably the right course of action. Not necessarily selling it, but hanging on to it and only using it when you know that you're going to be able to survive through it in full. Maybe if you have the Wisp Overcharge active and you pop your BKB, that's when you Mask of Madness. With the War Cry, with Immunity.
They're getting aggressive now. Luo with the Swarm and just 2 auto attacks, almost enough to bring out Fenrir. They lob in the Chain Frost from distance. It bounces back the right way. It could have bounced between Black and Ice Ice Ice.
I thought that was going to happen, honestly.
At least guarantees them the 1 kill. I don't know if they would have been able to kill those 2, but maybe they get 1 more that way instead. And at 430 looks for the leap in. He could catch the Wisp and on the Sven right now. FY, he has a haste turn up, but that's not going to help him if he gets bashed. He does. Chronosphere? Chronosphere? Oh, gets Hex! The Hex by Ice 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 explodes 430. These Mask of Madnesses are really not working out for anyone this game. Oh, they'll end up getting a turn. That quick Hex from Ice 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 just saved Vici from what could have been a complete catastrophe the other way.
Absolutely. MVP right there. And yeah, he's going to be able to build up towards other really good control items. He's got 3,100 banked up, can look towards the Aghanim Scepter that we saw that previous game, or really whatever his heart's desires. If he thinks Halberd will help, that's a decent course of action. The problem being that Weaver and Void already have BKB, so they are starting to dwindle in the numbers. 8 seconds on Void's BKB, as well as Weaver's. And yeah, it just really comes down to what you're looking for as far as control. But definitely need that, or just the auras. The AC would obviously help against
They're
all
going
this.
in, though. This rush is not going to be contested. Okay, just scouting. I was going to say, you kind of want your Void there for that, but he's still dead. So the Aegis will go the way of Vici Gaming, and they can maybe recover. But damn it, Blaze, this is a very even game right now. 2,500 gold lead for the Dire. Experience lead that was going Vici Gaming's way is now basically back to 0. And so I guess at this point, it's just all about the Chrono. If this Chrono catches out the Wisp +1, and the Void gets off his BKB, he's going to kill the Wisp, and he's probably killing another one as well. And I'm not sure how Vici can win a fight from there without a buyback on the Wisp. So, and if the Chrono misses on the other side, then I think Vici Gaming will have a fighting shot. It's not all on 430 by any means, but a lot of it is on him right now.
Yeah, it sounds weird, but I almost think that FY should go for an Ethereal Blade from this Ghost Scepter. Build that up, try to just E-Blade whoever the black is targeting. Yes, there is a lot of magic damage, and the Macro Fire could make that just as bad of a decision as a good one, but long term, the Void is the one that's scaling hard. The Weaver is critting hard soon, and yeah, you need to have some better control against that. We'll see. No decision from Ice 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 yet. He's probably, yeah, he's got the most current gold next to the Ember Spirit, but hasn't decided on anything. I'm curious if it's going to be like a AC or a Vlad's or Halberd or Ags. I mean, there's so many different ways you can go with this hero.
The Ags does sound pretty nice against the Weaver hitting this hard and a Void, but they are very mobile carries, so it's difficult to guarantee you'll hit them with the Earth Splitter.
Yeah. I figure
AC
you
would
can
kinda be
time-lapse
like-
the disarm too, but I haven't tested that personally.
Okay. I mean, Shivas and AC would kind of be like your safe choices that guarantee your team some support in the fight. The aura, the minus attack speed aura, the slow, obviously helpful. And same for the AC, just helping you to survive against this brawl right-click potential. But they'll get an AC on the Sven, so that kind of rules it out off the bat, that direction. And then I guess the question is, well, does he go Shivas? Refresher even? I mean, you could go Ags and then into Refresher. Maybe that's the build. You get the upgraded Earth Splitter, then a double Hex and a double Earth Splitter. That could be pretty potent.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of potential with that, and there's very little that the enemy can do about it. Like, you get pulled in by one, if you time it right, you're going to get pulled in by the second one. A lot of damage, a lot of positioning control, but the trick is to get them caught in the first one in the first place, because it is a very projected animation.
Stampede was used, but Super was there with the chains to prevent June's initiation. Couldn't get off the blink, and now they don't have a Stampede for the main push. Black hammering away at this Tier 3 tower. Vici Gaming with one win. They're one away from moving on to the Grand Finals where the old boys are lurking. Black gets caught up by a stomp, and now quickly the Weaver chunks him down. He will barely be kept alive by FY the Mech at the final hour. Not enough! The Chronosphere! It caught them both! What a Chrono from 430! Earth Splitter was there. It's enough to stop the aggression for a second, but only for a second. Then they'll lose their Ember. He's got a Spirit a little bit farther out. And 430's chasing this pesky old Wisp. He does not want it coming back in for a relocate out. They'll have to sack Super. He jumps in again. They get the kill on the Wisp. It's 4 bodies hitting the deck. The Aghanim Scepter was being delivered, and even the Courier may fall. Blink cooling down. Couldn't get in deeper for that. Man, if they lost the Aghanim Scepter on the Elder Titan on top of that, oh my goodness, Blaze. Yeah. 5,000 gold swing, 7,500 experience swing. Okay, not quite 5,000, 4,300, but still a lot of freaking gold.
Yeah, and this comeback was 100% earned. It wasn't just given away by Vici Gaming. It was IG making the plays happen. The Chronospheres coming out on exactly the right targets. Luo just playing the farm game so carefully. He's like farming the top lane, farming the bottom lane whenever he's not needed, immediately TPing back whenever he is. He's even now pushing down on the bottom tier 2 tower, and there's not much that can be done, honestly, against him. Though backdoor protection, of course, will keep it up. But still, like, his movements in general across the map, getting just this absurd gold value, he's earned every penny. And, of course, the crits are now really showing what he can accomplish with this physical right-click.
Yeah, and I just want to point out that Luo has 330 CS. He has been massively outfarming everyone. He hasn't died. He's 10-0 and 6. 6.82 was changed significantly for those who were sleepy when it got patched. The swing, the rubber band effect has been reduced massively for gold. It's like cut in half from what it was. And it was already cut a bit the day before for the single hero kills. So a lot of this is just what would have happened in 6.81 to begin with. Sure, there's a component that comes from the new patch, but I really I'm not getting that feeling like I did for some of the games the other day. I'm like, I mean, Jesus, that was like one fight. IG has won like multiple team fights in a row, basically wiping Vici. I agree with you. Well deserved. They blink it now into black. They're looking for another initiation. Now the chrono can come through, but it was dodged away from... No, actually not. FY gets caught out in it. I thought he was going to relocate to safety, but not able to do so. Did he relocate back into the chrono? Not even sure. Chain Frost bouncing here and there. They'll lose their Jakiro. Super gets caught out now by Double Edge. That's going to be 4 heroes dead. Buyback time. Let's count them. Weaver chasing Ice Ice Ice. Doesn't have an MKB. No bash. He'll barely make it back to base, but that might be it. 3 buybacks on the Radiant. Only the Ember with buyback on the Dire. And judging by his lack of buying back, they might have just... Well, okay, Blaze, here's what they're saying. They're saying we have tier 2 standing. So at most we just lose 1 lane of Rax. Unless they want to go for the throne. Do IG want to go for the throne is the question. They do.
I don't think that if they had mana on Ferrari, they certainly would. He's got a refresher coming out on the courier, but he only has 225. He's not going to be able to use it. Just waiting for that 30-second chrono. But for now, they want to force buybacks and then disengage, and they have the Stampede to do that. So whether or not they're pressured to retreat, they have the Stampede. They can kind of force as much as they want, and Super is the first one. He had a ton of gold stocked up, now down to 2,400 as he does buy back. And
Luo has 9,000 gold. I don't even know what you buy at this point. Oh my goodness.
Go down the aisle, man. You got a shopping list.
Take a little bit of everything. On the retreat out, they'll lose Chuan, it looks like. Caught up by the Wisp and the Ember Spirit. He'll go down to a secondary Sleight of Fist. Also worth mentioning, Roshan could respawn in 1.5 to 2 minutes. But, for some reason... Oh, is that just because he doesn't have mana? Okay. I thought it was, like, on deactivated. I was like, wait, is this even the Void's refresher? But, yeah, you just didn't have mana.
Yeah.
I was going to say, that's very weird.
But as far as the relocate in that fight, I believe it was just canceled by the Chronosphere. Any disables during the relocate process will negate it. So I don't think he actually FY got the relocate through. And obviously that's just...
slight timing, mistiming, I guess.
Yeah, not bad for him, but also really good Chrono positioning and timing from Ferrari, just making sure that they couldn't retreat, couldn't get out of that position. I mean, hell, he had a zoning aspect on Black where he essentially had a brick wall to retreat into. He had no choice but to head back towards his base right into the time bubble. So, yeah, it's just these Chronos from Ferrari. I honestly haven't had the pleasure of witnessing Ferrari Void firsthand, but this is just... absolutely insane from this guy. And with the refresher orb, the potential is limitless.
Yeah, that's where it gets really tricky. Even if you use your one relocate, then he just drops the chrono on you when you return, and then you just die, right? So maybe you could just send the Wisp back only, and then the Wisp buys back, and then you could deal with it that way, which currently there is a buyback on Wisp. But it just presents problems, and all of these things sound great in practice, but as we can see, the cold hard reality of Chronosphere can often interrupt the best laid plans of mice and men.
So with the refresher, he also has an extra BKB charge, so that's 11 seconds of immunity, and also a second activation, which in many matchups won't matter, but against the Elder Titan, very well might. We haven't really seen the use of this Earth Splitter plus Ags so far, but if it does connect with him, he's going to want to be able to activate this BKB a second time, so actually pretty valuable to have this item on him at this point of the game. And from here on out, it just really comes down to the engagements. At Vici Gaming, they might want to look at a base race play.
Oh, they're going to go in now. But... they're smoked. They're about to jump Black. He's up the cliff. He's got to blink way fast, but they stampede forward. Do they commit fully to this? He's got a BKB to dodge it. Doesn't even force out the BKB. And Roche is not up for a long time. This is the max Roshan respawn, I believe. It's like 5 seconds short of that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so they'll put a Beetle in the pit, but they're not going to be seeing him spawn anytime soon. And yeah, just Luo moving around with his runes. He's got the butterfly, so these illusions are even dodging auto attacks. Like they have some crazy HP. But Yeah, in the end, Weaver is just in a position where he can absolutely dominate the game. He's got the insane right click damage potential. He could consider a rapier, honestly. Like he could look at that as an option once
You
he moves
really
in.
you don't need these treads anymore. Weaver is like the best hero in the game to not have boots on. Because
Mhm.
you can just always buy back time lapse, and you've got Sakuchi to move around anyway in fights.
You keep courier BOTs out on the battlefield just in case you have to TP back to base, but you don't. Yeah, you don't need the item actually on your person, as you can just move it all about. Stampede plus Shikuchi. It's not even just one max movement speed skill; it's two.
And the push will commence in earnest. Vici Gaming. One lane of Rex down. They now will lose their tier 2s. I doubt we see them defend this. Just trying to slow
I
down
don't know
the
about this
push.
Fortify, honestly. They don't get it back because there is no tier 1 to kill. So they're going to just be losing out pretty heavily with the fact that they can't glyph their base.
I think if you're IG, you just even go do the same to the top lane. Well, I guess you have to worry about the rush respawn. If you get the Aegis, then you go do that, and then you could think about high ground, but yeah, for now they'll probably want to stick nearby. There is an MK beat on your Ember, and he is pretty damn big, but I just worry for Super's ability to get off with Sleight of Fist. Like, you get in range for Sleight of Fist, you're basically in range to be Chronosphered at that point, and it's just about if you jump out in time or not.
Yeah, absolutely. He's got no buyback now. I mean, he did have a timer of a minute and a half anyways, but now he has no gold for it in any capacity. This is an all-in play from him. He knows he needs to kill the Weaver, and the MKB is the only tool that'll allow him to do this, but comes at the cost. One chrono, this is good
Oh,
game.
they're smoked. It's now revealed. Chisbug into the tree line. They'll drop Frost Armor on 430, who was waiting for a jump from the other side. He got the Chronosphere off of 2. The Chain Frost bounces. What a combination. The tether was at the wrong time. FY caught. FY dead. Black dead as well. It's 4 that have fallen. GG in an instant. Oh my goodness. Nothing
graph,
went their way in that fight. Wiz tried to relocate out, hit the Chronosphere, and then the Chain Frost bounced between 2. It couldn't have gone more wrong in the end for Vici Gaming. Oh my goodness.
8,000 gold advantage for Vici Gaming up to over 14,000 for IG. The comeback is real and legitimately earned 100%. It was IG clawing their way back into this game. Lua with great movement across the map, farming just insanely well, not giving up a single death, and them just making the most of those Chronospheres when it really did count. Vici got to commend their efforts in the early game. It really seemed like they just had this one on lock, but IG bounced back in an incredible fashion.
Well, guys, we'll waste no time in wrapping this up, but that decisive game 3 is lurking. The winner will play the old boys. We'll get a crack at Xiao 8, 820, and the rest of the veterans. We'll see who's the real kings of China soon. But before we do, we got to find their competition. Vici and IG, Game 3 continues right after this. You're watching Beyond the Summits coverage of iLeague. I'm LD, he's Blaze. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.